that he sent, or the light he sent down. He then goes on and says, well, Iman, if having faith, okay, having belief in Allah and His Prophet and His book, that necessitates or entails, okay, that you know the rank of this Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, that's knowing him. Haqq al-ma'rifah is to know him. He is the best of all messengers. Okay, how is he better than all the other prophets? So this, knowing this, okay, is something that's, you know, part of Iman with him. And knowing how Allah has perfected him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we spoke about his sweat. Remember his sweat? When he sweated, it was perfume. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he sweated, it was perfume. When was the last time somebody came up to you and said, you know, you're playing football, you're sweating away, brother, come, don't move. So what? Don't move. I just need to collect the sweat. Gotta put it into my itr bottle, bro. Because, you know what I mean? Your smell, you know. And then, when was the last time that happened to anybody? That somebody came to you, grabbed your sweat off your brow, or collected and put it into a little bottle and then went home and said, Ammi, you've got to try this. Or you go to your friend and say, this is the daddy of all itters. Here you go. It never happened and never will. But with the Prophet ﷺ, you know, this happened. When he slept in one of his mahram's houses, okay, or they would sleep on these leather mats, and it was hot in Medina Sharif. If anybody's been Umrah, you would know, you sweat a lot when you go there. And you know, there's a lot of pasina, and at the end she was gathering all the sweat and putting it into a little qarura, a little bottle. So what are you doing that for? The Prophet asked her. And then what she was doing was, I mean, women, this is the nature of women, anybody who's married don't know, you know, hey, they have this tendency to sort of, there's this competition who has the best perfume. Do you see? I mean, there's no women here, we can talk about it. I know. Let them feel like we don't know, you know. Hey. You know, when they have this competition, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely no problem with this. That there's this who smells better. If it's amongst women, who looks better. I mean, I know we have problems trying to match. You know, there's price tags that they are competing with, but that is just part of life. And what she was doing, she's mixing it into the bottle. Then when she would go with the women, she wouldn't tell them what she's done. And then they would try her perfume. It's like, this next level. But what was her secret ingredient? Her secret ingredient was the sweat of the Prophet ﷺ. You see, that was a secret ingredient. So you see Sahabiyat doing this. You see, they knew what it was. And yet, incredibly yet, you know, the Prophet ﷺ, you know, having this beautiful smell, even, you know, from his sweat, yet he emphasized so much that people use perfume and people are clean and smell good. You know, even after that, even though there was no need for him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, his blessed touch. You've probably heard about it, that if he ever came up to these children, mashallah, and went and put his hand on, you know, their head, so anybody's head, right, what would happen? As a child, he would do this to them. He would put his hand over their head. That touch, okay, was so powerful, okay, so blessed, that it had a lifetime guarantee too. Okay, that after 100 years, or 80 years, or 90 years, or whatever number of years, people could see and look at somebody and say, ah, he was touched by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How? If he touched their face, wherever his blessed hand, you know, was placed, that part of their beard remained black, and everything else turned white. And if it was their head, I always remember Ravanelli. I don't know if you're anybody young like me, Middlesbrough, Ravanelli. Do you remember Ravanelli? Hey, you can't relate to him. You don't know about him. You don't know what football is. You know, the good old days when, you know, Middlesbrough and that, you know, somebody's old, he would have a touch. You could see the hand of the Prophet. It would remain with him. Allahu Akbar. That was just one, you know, dimension of his touch, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and so forth. So, you know, these Sahaba are incredible. You know, we have a lot of these stories. And so I better finish this point off, okay, about perfume. Okay, we see the Prophet emphasized this, okay, even though he didn't need it. I remember hearing from our teacher, Sheikh Ismail al-Zabibi, who said he heard from Sheikh Abdul Razak al-Halabi on the minbar, rahimahullah, he passed away, he was the Mufti of Syria, you know, Sheikh Abdul Razak al-Halabi, rahimahullah. I was very lucky to have studied with him. He mentioned how the Prophet ﷺ, most of his income, okay, was spent on deeb, on perfume, on itar, on good quality perfume. So there's no israf, there's no overspending when you buy itar. When you buy itar, go and buy the best if you can. I mean, you don't need to take a loan to buy a, you know, maybe Uns or some of those famous expensive brands. No, you know, you just buy what you have, you know, whatever ability you have. Some people have that. Hey, but the point is, there's no israf, there's no overspending in smelling good. Why? Because it's not for you anyway. After you have those a few sprays or a bit of itar here and there, you forget. You can't smell what what you're wearing. It's actually sadaqah. It's charity upon those around you. See, you probably can remember. You don't have to remember people, but when you met certain people and they stank, oh, disgusting smell. They just. Just go and buy a bottle of Lynx. Buy two get one free. What's wrong with you? They just. There was no need for this, right? They should. Why are they smelling so disgusting? Then why? You're gonna have. Washing is very important, okay? And then smelling good, okay? Because this is sadaqah on other people. Look, why are we encouraged to use a miswak all the time? Why? You should use a miswak. This is blessed miswak. Why? You should not have bad breath unless you're fasting, obviously. If you have bad breath and you're fasting, this is in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Allah loves a person, who's fasting, and their bad breath smells better than musk. With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is because this is all sacrifice for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, refraining from food and drink, and obviously naturally you're going to get a bad smell. But outside this, why do you have bad breath for? You see, you should be using a miswak. I mean, if you don't want to use a miswak, use a toothbrush. The point is, you have no excuse to have, unclean, unhealthy, unhygienic teeth. No excuse at all. Absolutely against the sunnah. Or food, stuck between your teeth, why? There is no excuse. Absolutely against the sunnah, okay? And looking roughed up and smelly. And so this is from the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, buying expensive perfume and smelling good because it's spending on other people. When you walk in and somebody's got a nice itar on, mashallah, you go, mashallah, bro, that's not bad. Where's that from? They feel good. Does it not make them feel good? Okay, and that's the way our religion works. That's why Sayyidina Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, may Allah be pleased with him. I remember asking our teacher, I said, he's buried, do you know where he's buried? Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. Come on, the young people. Great Sahabi. Turkey, you're young. Yeah, Turkey. Yeah, mashallah. Istanbul, as you were? Istanbul, okay? And who was he? What did he do? What's the most famous thing he did? When the Prophet came to Medina Sharif, what happened? Who took his bags? Abu Ayyub did. And then what did he do? Yeah, he hosted the Prophet ﷺ. Okay. And he beat everybody to it. Very important. He beat everybody to it. He beat everybody to it. He took the bags while they were all busy. What did he do? Took the bags of the Prophet and put them in his house. He didn't nick them. He took them and put them in a safe place. And I've got to qualify everything I say. We live in strange times. If I didn't say that, someone would go, guess what, the Sahabi nicked the Prophet's bag. Wow, wicked. I'm going to do that too now. Before I know my bag is gone. Sorry, I might offend people by qualifying things like this, but I think sometimes there's need. Now, now look, he took, the Prophet when asked about his bag, he said a man is with his bag, right? So he ended up in the house of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. Yeah, he had a double-story house. Okay, double-story house. I mean, not like today, but you can imagine their days. And the Prophet ﷺ stayed in his house until whatever time it took to build the mosque, okay, which was, I think, 7 months or something, okay. Hey, look how lucky this man is. Hey, Rasulullah living in his house for that long. I mean, if your Pirsab comes and stays one night in your house, you know, nobody can enter that room now. You know, you go there for barakat, Allahu, and go back. You get, I mean, there's not, you know, we look at our shuyukh like this, or your Sheikh Saab, if you're against Pirs, I don't know, I'm not, but if you are, you know, your Sheikh Saab, your Staji, whatever, somebody you look up to, okay? This is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now look, interesting, he used to bring food for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he brought some food, and the Prophet would normally eat from it, obviously, and then when he would return back the cutlery or the plate or whatever, him and his wife would look into the food and look where the fingerprints, the signs of the fingers in the food, where the Prophet's hands had been, and then they would start eating around those places. And this is called tabarruk. What's it called? Tabarruk. And so they were taking tabarruk from Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. One day what happened was the Prophet ﷺ was given food which had thum in it, garlic. Okay, what was it? Garlic. And the Prophet ﷺ did not eat from it. And he really was saddened by this. He was scared that he had done something wrong. Maybe something wrong with the food, you know. And they got very scared and they asked the Prophet ﷺ, why did you not, you know, is there something, you know, we do something wrong with the food, you know? So no, nothing like that. Just that I don't like to eat garlic, raw garlic, okay? Not cooked garlic, raw garlic, because it has this very horrible, strong smell. And because the Prophet ﷺ was receiving wahi, what's wahi? Revelation from Allah through Jibreel alayhi salam, and because he was in conversation with this angel, he didn't want to eat something which carried a bad smell. So you smokers, where are the smokers? Look your hands up. You know, you Benson Hedges slaves and Marlboro slaves, wherever you are. Okay, hey, you people more than anybody else, right? This is, you know, you need to really do something about washing your mouth, blessed mouth, okay, before you come into the masjid or in contact with other people. Do you get it? And you've got to respect those individuals who do. There's some individuals who really take care of this. They don't want people to know they smoke. They know it's a weakness in them, okay? And when they come in contact with other people, they may do a good job of rinsing their mouth and using their itr shitr, you know, or whatever else, just so they don't harm other people with that horrible smell. We can accept people have weaknesses. Do you see? Nobody can say and start to, you know, question why are you smoking and so forth. You know, everybody has their own weakness. Do you get it? He smokes and you do something even worse. Do you get it? You probably look into the house of your neighbors, which is a great, maybe a major sin. Do you see? Or a minor sin, but it's more worse. You look at every person or woman that moves. You get it? He smokes, that's his sin. As for you, you have absolutely no moral standing. You get it? So calm down before you start issuing your fatwas. But that person may be, you know, quite good. He's got a weakness. Okay, he needs to work on that weakness. So the point is, again, smelling good. Okay, staying clean. This is from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And so we learn these things when we start going to the seerah. We come across these things. Okay, even more strongly. Because it's a special day tomorrow, and those individuals I've spoken to, hopefully you won't say it, but maybe I can ask the other young people, why is it a special day? Tonight. Yes? Yeah. Tonight after Maghrib is an incredible night. One of the most important, most, mashallah, blessed nights in the entire seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. You know, that's, and it's worth touching upon this because this is a night of worship. I remember somebody asked me, did you meet with Sheikh Muhammad Yaqub. I remember now, it was on this night, the night of Badr, when we were in Damascus, that I saw shuyukh gather in a house, okay, scholars, and amongst them was Sheikh Muhammad, and other scholars too, and they had a reciter, a qari. Most of them were huffaz anyway, and they read 2 rak'ah nafal, and in it they read Surah Al-Anfal, which mentions the story of Badr, the Battle of Badr. So, the scholars in Damascus were getting together and reading those verses, trying to remember what had happened in the Battle of Badr. So, tonight is Battle of Badr, which happened in this, in the second year of the Prophet coming to Medina, and it happened on a Friday. Was it? What day was it? Friday, okay? Jumu'ah, okay? And it was on the 17th of Ramadan. What was it? The 17th of Ramadan. There's a Sheikh, rahimahullah, his name is Sheikh Yunus Sharbaji. What's his name? Sheikh Yunus Sharbaji. I never met him, but I got to his janazah. What happened was the week before, somebody gave me a picture of him and said, this guy you gotta meet. So who is he? Sheikh Yunus, one of the Salihin of Damascus. So I was like, khalas, I've got to look for him. And I didn't catch him. And he died. What day did he die on? Huh? 17th. It was a Wednesday. Okay? 17th of Ramadan. That's not the Subhanallah, like Jilani says. Say Subhanallah. Do zikr. Say Subhanallah. I like that, by the way, because it's dhikr, isn't it? Tasbih. Okay? That's not Subhanallah yet. I'll tell you when to do the Nari Takbir. Ready? Okay, wait for it. Okay. He, rahimahullah, every day, his wird. Okay, you know what wird is? What's wird? Don't worry, I'm not going to label you as a Sufi or anything like that. Go on, which is good. I'll be happy if someone labels Sufi. Huh? Daily supplication, litanies. These boys' English is too much for me. Somebody make it easy for me. Daily prayer, a fixed prayer that you do on a daily basis. Some of the Salihin said, "Man la wirda lahu fahuwa qirdun." Whoever has no wird, he's a monkey. Now you can laugh. Whoever has no wird is a monkey. Whoever doesn't have a daily reading of dhikr, Quran daily. Do you get it? Some Subhanallah daily, fixed every day. Then he's a monkey. I didn't say it. Don't get offended, man. I didn't say it. His daily litany was what? Anybody? So, a good guess. I like the guess. Now, no. I'm not giving no more money because you people get things right. I've already lost £10. I don't know where the brother is, by the way, but yeah. Oh.
What is the name of the Shuhada of Badr?
Good man. Well done. MashaAllah. His daily litany was that he would recite the name. You read the names of all those Sahaba who took part in the Battle of Badr. How many were there? 313. 313 Sahabi who took part in the Battle of Badr. His daily litany was to mention the names of those Sahaba every day. What did Allah bless him with? He died on the day of Badr. That's not, can I not takbir please? Oh, come on. Hey, all by yourself, Tayyib. What's wrong with you guys, man? No, you need a real, maybe you got Rosani, okay. We do it in the evening. Sheikh Amr, look at us now. What are they doing? That was every day. Incredible, isn't it? He mentioned, look how Allah joins people. Al-mar'u ma'man ahab. A man is with the one who he loves. Do you get it? If all day long you're going Olympics, saying Bolt, then you're going to be with him. Don't say inshallah, please. inshallah, make him Muslim, yeah. Very, very important. A man will be with the one who he loves. If you mention dunya all day long, and all night long, and you might not actually mention your tongue, but you got your iPhone or your BlackBerry, and all you're doing is watching dunya day and night, then you're mentioning that. You're actually in dhikr of dunya. That's what you're doing. You're in dhikr. Someone's holding their phone, and they're busy, and some people kill it. They literally, you know what I mean, they're on it for hours. Have you not seen people walk into lampposts? Or nearly? And I nearly ran over some children. I mean, yeah, children, young teenagers, because they're on their phones. See, and you know, I was really tempted to press the, I had to morally press the brake, you know. But that's, you know, where are you, man? Wake up. Yeah, what type of world? Headphones on, phone in their hand, and they're walking. So if you beat the guy, what are you supposed to do? This is like, I had a question yesterday, which I couldn't, some valid question about a woman who's Muslim, she's deaf. Okay, she adopted a child. Okay, she adopted some children when they were young, and now they've reached the age of bulugh, because they're baligh and they're not her children, and they haven't, you know, she didn't suckle them. Okay, there's nothing there to make them her their mahram. Now there's a real haraj, because she's in the house, and whenever he comes in, the boy, there's two, a boy and a girl, she has to put her hijab on, but she's deaf. So how does she know when he's coming in? How does he tell her? Incredible. But here we've got other issues, you see. Subhanallah. I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, la ilaha illallah. So a man is with the one who he loves. And the Sheikh Yunus died on that day. And the other incredible thing is, maybe for another day, it's a bit too private, that one. Shouldn't mention everything. Okay, so Badr, Muslims arrived, okay. No, I'm going to mention a few points here, because I want to mention two stories, and I want to link them to why we should compete in goodness. To get a competition, because we're an Olympic theme, innit? We're British, innit? Competition, why is it important to compete? To get it, okay? But perhaps we're not competing for a gold medal in the dunya, but certainly in the akhirah, okay? And so I want to touch upon that, but before I get to that, I want to mention a few things. One is that the Muslims arrive, right, on the Friday night in Badr. Okay, not to eat karele. Okay, that was just me who went to eat karele. Okay, those who know the story, but you're bored of that now. Okay, they arrived Friday evening, okay, into Badr. And the incredible thing is, they're tired, okay, they're tired. You know, they've done 70 odd miles or so, okay, to get to Badr. Okay, they're about to go into combat, warfare, okay. What happens? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down sleep over them. Okay, incredible this is. Allah mentions this in the Quran. It says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان إذ يغشيكم النعاس أمنة منه